The
podcast.
And we're live. Welcome to the podcast. This is John. We have Felix with me today. How are you, Felix?
I'm good. Yeah, how are you, sir? You too?
I'm fantastic. And we have Mr. Tommy. How are you doing, Tommy?
I'm not too bad now. How are you keeping?
I'm pretty good. I'm pretty psyched for today's episode. So today's episode is
I'm glad to hear that.
So today's episode is Nee's nominees, and we have Mr. Tommy Nee in today to talk about his nominees. So Mr. Tommy, what have you been up to these days before we delve right in?
Sure, other than watching movies and lazing around the house, like not much else, you know.
Getting a bit of research in for this very moment, like
Indeed, yeah.
Tommy,
yeah.
all I've been doing the past few days is sleeping, looking forward to this moment right here. So I guess we'll get right into it.
Yeah.
This is it, like. This is the highlight of the year, if anything.
Oh, indeed, yeah.
At least, like. All right, so
what my life has been leading up to, you know.
It's all downhill from here, so we may as well make the best out of these 20 minutes. So, Mr. Tommy Nee, what have you got for us today? What is your first Nee nominee? So I believe we sent you away and we told you to get 3 movies, one from selected streaming services, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime TV or Video, is that what it's called, and Netflix. It is important to note that we are not sponsored by any of these streaming services. So, because we're in the big leagues now. So, okay, Tommy Nee, will we delve right into, we'll go for the old Disney Plus one first.
All right, sure. We'll start off with Disney Plus, and sure, as you know, as we always do on this podcast, we like to kind of mix it up and change up, go for like a wide range of movies, as always on this segment that we always do. And so I started off with a proper Disney classic, The Fox and the Hound.
Lovely.
In reality, it's kind of an overlooked classic, but it's a beautiful story of unlikely friendship between, guess what, a fox and, you know it, a hound.
Hardly.
You wouldn't guess.
The story follows the surprising childhood bond of a hand-reared fox and the new pup of a local hunter, which develops into the adult conflict you'd expect. The classic Disney message is most obvious in its "there's friendship to be found in all places," or its "don't judge a book by its cover." But it also provides a good discussion on how society's expectations can interfere in our personal lives and determine our behavior. A lovely story that's always going to warm your heart in the classic Disney way.
Oh, lovely stuff. A lovely nominee to kick us off with. So Tommy, what did you like most about this film?
To be honest, it just has great heart, you know, and it's just a lovely story.
Okay.
And as always with Disney, you know, the animation is top notch. It was actually the first Disney movie to use computer graphics.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
There you go.
There's one for you.
So, could you sum up the plot in a few sentences, if you may?
Without giving any spoilers, of course.
Oh, of course, yeah, as always on this segment.
That we do all the time.
All the time,
yeah. So yeah, sure. It starts off with this woman finding a fox in her back garden, and she decides to hand rear it, as you would if you found a fox in your back garden. And he starts to form a bond with the new pup of a local hunter, and as their friendship builds on, it starts to become more into the conflict you would expect, right, between a fox and a hound. Especially a hunter's hound, and the challenges they face in terms of their friendship and what society expects of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. And how long ago was it released? Do you have any idea?
Oh no,
that's putting you on the spot now. I don't expect you to know that.
You put me on the spot there.
I figured I'd throw a wild card at you. You were doing well, and I had to put you on edge, like so.
You did, yeah.
That's fair enough. Like, for people, that's what the internet's for.
You just completely discredited me with anybody who's listening.
So Tommy, is this a movie you've grown up with since you were young?
To be honest, it wouldn't have been. I definitely had seen it once or twice when I was younger, but I rewatched it there recently, I think over Christmas, and it hits you in all the right spots, you know?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Is it a tearjerker?
I mean, that depends on your sensitivity level, you know.
How sensitive are you? Did the cheer jerk
cry?
your eyes?
You know me, John. I'm a sensitive man. Like.
Oh, yeah. Right. So, okay, The Fox and the Hound, available on Disney Plus, which we are not sponsored by. So,
Yet, John.
It's on the way. So, Tommy, just to wrap that Nee's nominees up, How many stars would you give that in the old-fashioned rating system?
In the old-fashioned rating system, just in terms of how like you'd rate Disney classics, I'd probably give it a good old 8 out of 10.
And what's a 10?
8 stars out of 10.
And what's a 10? Like, what would a 10 be in Disney classics?
A 10 in Disney classics you'd have to put Lion King, Finding Nemo, Toy Story.
Oh,
All the top
okay.
players. All the top
see.
players.
I see. The big boys.
Lovely stuff. Thanks very much for that. That was a great nominee, Tommy Nee.
Indeed.
Right, moving swiftly along, we'll go to our next big streaming player, Amazon Prime Video. Did I get that name correctly?
I would assume so. Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm just not sure.
Sure, like they're not
because,
sponsored, so they don't need it to be correct.
exactly. All right, Tommy Nee, what have you got for us with Amazon Prime Video?
For Amazon Prime Video, I've got one that is definitely a lighter film than the one I have coming for Netflix, but definitely a heavier film than The Fox and the Hound. It deals with a much kind of broader range of subject matter, and as we always like to do on this subject, we'll give something for everybody's taste. So the film is What's Eating Gilbert Grape, starring Johnny Depp and Leonardo DiCaprio, Juliette Lewis as well, and it's a beautiful, heartwarming character study featuring 2 incredible performances from the 2 leads. The movie follows Gilbert Grape, surprisingly, in a movie called What's Eating Gilbert Grape, and his tough, mundane life in a small Midwestern American town as he cares for his morbidly obese mother and his intellectually disabled brother, Arnie, played by DiCaprio. Really, for DiCaprio, it's a performance that will go on to mark his career, forecasting the brilliance that is to come. The brilliance of the film is in its depiction of the struggles of everyday life, and credit has to be given to director, apologies if I mispronounce this, Lasse Hallström, for the perfect balance of comedy and melodrama to give that ideal, heartwarming story that never feels like it's trying too hard to do so.
Lovely stuff. Okay, and like pretty naive question, I think, coming from me, but Tommy, is it a spoiler to answer what is in fact eating Gilbert Grape?
I mean, since it's not a B horror movie from the 80s, there's nothing actually eating Gilbert Grape.
That's a relief.
It's more of a metaphor for, how his life is kind of eating into what he wants to do, and how his childhood has, kind of put him into a situation he'd definitely prefer to not be in.
Okay, and where did you say it was set again?
Some small Midwestern American town.
Okay, not too bad, not too bad. And what would you give this out of, how many stars would you give this out of 10?
I would give this one a strong 9. It's
oh, wow.
A strong 9.
The performances are outstanding. It's definitely a completely overlooked movie you wouldn't really hear about. And, as we always like to do on this segment that we do all the time, we try to give ones that people haven't really heard of, and this would definitely fit into that category.
Okay.
Now, Tommy, not to put you on the spot, but I'm going to hit you with the date question again. Like roughly, are we talking 90s, 2000s?
No, I'll get my research.
Sorry, Tommy.
Digging into the archive there.
The film was released in 1993.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
And to answer your earlier question, John, on The Fox and the Hound, it was 1981.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, wow.
You saved yourself there. You're now fully credible, like. So, Tommy, in terms of the kind of fame arc of Leonardo DiCaprio, is he known at this point, or is he just up and coming?
He wouldn't have been massively known. Actually, as a side fun fact to my fun fact, this was the first movie where the great Martin Scorsese came to realize Leonardo DiCaprio's presence. It was actually a big shock to people when Leonardo DiCaprio showed up to like the film's premiere and wasn't actually intellectually disabled, because his performance was just so incredibly believable that people just kind of assumed he was.
That's incredible.
Wow,
that is incredible. Yeah. So how many stars? 9. We're going for 9 stars
9.
out of 10.
We'll go for 9. Yeah.
Jeez, do you think that's generous, or is that very fair?
I mean, I'm sure there'd be people that wouldn't give it that, but then they should come on this podcast.
You're a sensitive man, like.
As I've said.
Yes, here we are. Right. So, do you have any other final words to say on what is eating Gilbert Grape? Sorry.
You should check it out.
Yeah,
it is well worth the watch, even if for Leonardo DiCaprio's performance alone.
if it's worthy of a Nee nominee, then it's worthy enough for me, eh? That's the tagline we go for. All right, so moving swiftly along now to the flicks, aka Netflix, that it's referred to in the marketplace.
Who we are not sponsored by.
No, quick note on that actually might come as a shock. We are not sponsored by Netflix. So yet.
Once again, John, yet.
Yes.
Exactly.
Right, Tommy, what have you got for me? Let's go. What have you got for us?
Okay, so switching up the subject matter again, we're going for a highly brutal movie, one that upon its initial release gained widespread fear really in people watching it in terms of how just brutal it was known to be. It's a movie called The Nightingale, and it was released in 2018. It's pretty tough one to get through at times, but it's a compelling, tragic, and moving on in the same breath. Really, the film tells the story of a young Irish convict woman, Claire, living in a poor life in Tasmania, who enlists the help of Aboriginal tracker Billy, as she sets out on a warpath for revenge following a horrific act of violence and depravity against her family. Film packs a strong punch and sticks with you, meditating on the horrors and of colonization through the meeting of two lonely, traumatized characters stripped of everything.
Wow, that's intense. Now, Tommy, answer this as a sensitive man, the man that you are. How many nights' sleep did we lose in the wake of this movie?
I mean, to be honest, one full, and then I can't really count,
After that, you don't still wake up. You don't still wake up.
No.
Right.
No, the screaming in the middle of the night has stopped. Thank God.
Now, Tommy, tell me this. Out of the three movies we've spoken about, which are family friendly?
I definitely would not call The Nightingale family friendly. I would say watching Gilbert Grape is family friendly. It's definitely not for younger kids, but around like the 10 to 12 area is probably fine.
Now, obviously, we are in complete support of the PEGI age ratings that are used in Ireland. We are not contradicting these in any way.
Absolutely not.
What Tommy's saying is, if he had a family, he'd let his 12-year-old kid watch it as an irresponsible parent.
This is just disclaimer central. So Tommy,
to go back on my original point, I would recommend watching Gilbert Grape for no younger than 15.
Just to get that on record, so he can't come back to bite us. Okay, so Tommy, in terms of horror movies, where does this rank in terms of the scare factor? Like top 3, top 5? What are we talking?
I wouldn't give The Nightingale a title of horror movie. It's not scary. It's just brutal. It's
intense.
It's more of a kind of drama revenge movie that's just tough to get through. Yeah.
Thrilling.
Yeah.
How long is it? How long is it? Exactly. I want seconds as well.
Exactly. I don't have to the seconds, but I can tell you that the movie is 2 hours and 16 minutes long, including credits.
Not bad. Okay. Not bad.
Yeah. Okay. It is. It's a long haul. Especially with the subject matter, because after a certain while you're just like, I just want to get through this. But,
did you take any breaks? Did you take a break while you were watching it?
To be honest, this completely goes against everything I believe in for movies. But
here we go.
What dinner was called, and I have to
when dinner's called, Tommy comes to call him. Like that's it, right? And so just to give people an idea of what kind of spec this movie is, what kind of level would you put it on? Would you give it a comparison or a comparing movie that it kind of is similar to?
In terms of its brutality, or in terms of its subject matter?
In terms of the genre.
In terms of the genre,
that's a tough one now.
That is a tricky old question.
This is the first time we've put Tommy Nee on the spot now since we asked him what year the Fox and the Hound was made. So we're doing well.
Yeah, I mean, sure, as we always do in this podcast, you like to keep me on my toes.
We do. We do. A sensitive man on his toes. What more can you hope for?
I mean, it's, in terms of like, it's, if anybody's seen the film Black 47.
Gotcha.
I believe it was called. It's,
Gert the Moor,
it follows. It would be in that similar kind of vein. It's just a much better film.
Okay. You're dissing the Irish cinema there.
I amn't. I'm just really praising this film.
Fair, fair. And as always, Tommy is not paid to say any of these, and he's not going against anything. This is solely his opinion.
Solely my opinion, and you know what? If you disagree with me, well, come on.
I'll meet you around the back in 5 minutes. Right. So, Tommy, any last words on the Nightingale?
The performances are just ridiculous, especially from Sam Claflin, who people might know from The Hunger Games Catching Fire, which nobody would have expected to give this good a performance, but he is ridiculously hateful. One of those characters that just gets under your skin, and also kind of enjoyably hateful.
Okay, that's always good. Like you don't always like hating the main character. Like
Oh no, well no, he wasn't. He's not the main character.
okay,
yeah,
I won't get ahead of myself.
You don't get ahead of yourself. No.
You stop me in my tracks, Tommy. Like
there's also great authenticity to the movie, just in terms of the set design, the costumes, the language, everything. It feels like you're really wrapped up in a film session, the early 1800s in Tasmania.
Lovely stuff. And have I asked you to give us a rating on this yet, or
you have not? No, I would.
Okay.
I would give this a good strong 8.5, 9 as well.
Oh wow! Okay,
that's pretty high. That's pretty high.
It's pretty high. Yeah, well, sure. I wouldn't be recommending it if I didn't think it was good.
We wouldn't be here otherwise. Like getting these nominees. Right,
Indeed.
Mr. Tommy Nee, do you have any final words, any final blessings for us before we leave you into the night?
Fun fact on the Nightingale: the language spoken by the Tasmanian Aboriginals is in the film is, and I apologize if I mispronounce this, Palawakani. It is near extinct and marks the first time ever spoken in a mainstream picture.
Wow. Okay, so this movie's culturally significant as well as being an amazing movie.
It would be, and it has great kind of meditations on the horrors of colonization, and it makes you relate to it through a woman who has lost everything in the same way that the people of Tasmania lost everything by colonization.
And on that profound note, Tommy, thank you very much for coming in and giving us your Knees nominees. We hope to have you back again soon.
Oh, I hope so, yeah.
Jeez. All right, so keep well, keep good.
All right.
So long, Chief.
Thanks a million, Tommy.
Good luck.
So long.